In the 7th century BC, Sparta was unique among all the several hundred city-states that surrounded the Aegean.
In every Greek polis, the state played more of a role in governing people's lives than many of us would accept today. Sparta went several degrees better. In no other city-state was the government as intrusive. This was a cradle-to-grave deal.
In fact, it was in the cradle that the first measure of the future Spartan equal was taken. At birth, government overseers examined each newborn infant of the elite to determine if he or she should be allowed to live. Less than superior infants were exposed, the Spartan euphemism for leaving an imperfect child to die in a mountain chasm.
This seems extraordinarily brutal, but the aim is to produce warriors. And so that's what they're looking for in these newborn children.
They needed good men, so I think that they would be unapologetic about the fact that they were breeding the best and strongest that they could.
Girl babies, too, had to be approved by the Board of Overseers, who decided whether they should live or be chucked off the edge of a mountain.
The surviving girls were raised to be mothers. The boys were raised to become Spartan equals, warriors who controlled the government. In Sparta, the government was by the people and for the people, if you were one of the homoioi, the equals. Everyone else, the periokoi and the helots, were non-citizens.
The Spartans were uniquely successful in devising a unique system, let's say peculiar to them, that lasted for very many years, in fact so long that Machiavelli and others took it as a model.
At the top of the Spartan government was a hereditary monarchy with a strange twist.
The crucial starting point, which seems to be the most ancient part of their constitution, is they didn't have one king, they had two kings.
Now, this is really weird. Most Greek cities had a memory of a time when they had a king. And many Greek cities maintained a kind of religious official who sometimes kept the name the king. The Spartans, however, had two kings, and they had real authority in society. Certainly real authority to lead the armies, profound religious authority.
The reason for this is they serve as checks and balances on each other. They prevent any one man from becoming too powerful.
The dual monarchy and 28 Spartiates over the age of 60 created a council of elders known as the Gerousia. The Gerousia set policy and served as the supreme criminal court.
Sparta was in some way a gerontocratic society. Old people ruled, and there were certain positions open only to old people. And one reason for that was if you survive to be old in a Spartan environment, you must be pretty damn tough.
Below the Gerousia was the Assembly of Citizens, which was made up of all Spartan equals over the age of 30, and was the least powerful branch of the Spartan government.
The Spartan assembly is not about deliberation. It is about, as it were, taking orders from people who have already decided the proper way for the society to go forward. The assembly is going to say, rah, rah, let's do it, when somebody proposes a policy.
Floating above it all was a board of 5 men called ephors, who ran the military, oversaw the educational system, and had considerable veto power over everyone, potentially even the kings. Their power was kept in check, however, by limiting their terms to 1 year and making them accountable to the assembly for their actions.
Those who serve as ephors or in other offices, at the end of their year in office, automatically go on trial. It's as if every president of the United States were impeached and put on trial at the end of his 4 years or 8 years in office and had to answer charges.
The goal of the Constitution was really to avoid allowing anyone or even any single institutional place in the society to become all-powerful. And I think that seems to have worked pretty well.
How could you get anything done with all of these people standing in your way? Well, the whole system was invented not to get anything done. Its purpose was not to change, to stop change. It did a terrific job of that.